Hi guys, today I'm going to lead you through a advanced practice. Now this is a practice somewhat inspired by the rocket sequence, which is kind of like a big mashup of the Ashtanga sequences. So like I said, this is advanced. You will need to modify as and when you need if you're working with injury or anything like that. Please do not do this practice if you're new to yoga. I'm not going to be stopping a whole lot. Also, I do want to point out that this is not really an alignment-based class, right? So given that you're advanced yogis, you should have that baseline knowledge of your own alignment. So be really conscious about that. This is going to be more just keeping up the pace, really moving, breathing, sweating, all those things. Now, it is a steamy 96 degrees here. So I have a towel. You'll probably see me sweat a little bit. I also have 2 blocks, so if you have blocks, go ahead and grab those. They'll be really handy for the last portion of this practice. All right, guys, let's get started. Child's pose, any variation, whatever you feel like. And take a moment here to acknowledge the fact that you've rolled out your mat, you've carved out time in your day to practice. And even though this will be a physical practice, lots of different poses and juicy sequences, just a reminder that this is more about a breath to movement practice. It's more about something a little deeper. So if you find that you're just getting caught up in the poses, maybe losing your connection to breath, try skipping something out. Maybe you hit the pause button. So you're starting to turn your focus inwards now, letting go of any distractions that might be pulling your attention. And if you really enjoy Ujjayi breath, maybe you're dropping into that now. Just be aware that is a heating breath. And if you're practicing already in a hot climate, you may not need that real deep Ujjayi breath. So you can change that as you move throughout practice. And then if your arms aren't already extended out in front of you, go ahead and reach them out now. Allow your elbows to lift away from the floor. Walk your hands a little further forwards and allow your hips to pull back towards your heels. Stretch through the back line of your body. Maybe you feel this into the left and right sides as well. Energetically try to squeeze your hands back towards your hips. Take another 3 breaths here. Tabletop position, hands and knees. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your sternum, lift your sitting bones, cow pose. Exhale, press the floor away from you, cat pose. 2 more, inhale through cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And exhale. About another 30 seconds here. So if you want to flip your fingers around, take some wrist stretches, go for it. And as advanced practitioners, you know your body, you know what you need. Maybe it's a little bit of extra time in your warm-up. Like I said, you can always hit pause, spend a little bit of extra time getting into your body if that's what you need. We're going to meet back in tabletop position, fingers facing forwards. Go ahead, tuck your toes and hover your knees just an inch off the floor. Now extend through the crown of your head. Feel your navel pull back towards your spine and straighten your arms. Imagine you were squeezing a block in between your forearms. And then try to squeeze your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands. Breathe here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. So first down dog, maybe you're pedaling out through the feet. Maybe you want to take your hands a little wider and give your shoulders some space. Maybe you're taking your feet a little wider, giving your hamstrings a little bit of extra space to stretch out. Notice when you're moving from a place of habit, maybe just check back in. How does your body feel? Does it actually need to move right now? And eventually coming back to stillness in downward facing dog. Feel the 4 connection points of your body to the floor, 2 hands, 2 feet, Hasta and Pada Bandha. Spreading your fingers, pressing down firmly through the finger pads, the finger knuckles. Feel this slight lift underneath your palms. Feel your forearms lift away from the floor. And then wrap your inner elbow creases towards the front. Notice what that does to your shoulders and upper arms. Try to lengthen through your spine more, even if that means that the knees bend or your heels lift. Pull your front ribs towards your back ribs. Finding a rhythm of breath that feels good in your body here. Five more breaths. Inhale, come forwards, high plank position. We'll hold and breathe this first high plank. Again, make your arms straight and strong. Extend through the crown of your head and press the floor away from you. Pull your navel back and then squeeze your butt a little. Feel your inner thighs pull in. Inhale as you shift forwards. Gently lower all the way to your belly. Hands wider than the mat, untuck your toes. Inhale, curl your chest up. Exhale, release back down. 2 more, strong legs. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, curl up. You can hold here, maybe shimmy out the shoulders. I'm gonna drop the left shoulder down, look over my right. Come back through center, dropping the right shoulder, looking over the left. Back through center, lowering all the way down to the belly. Thumbs in line with the low ribs. Tuck your toes, lift your kneecaps. Take an inhale. Exhale, push up, high plank. Don't drop your head. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Find a ragdoll position, holding opposite elbows. Maybe you're swaying, maybe nodding and shaking out the head. We're going to begin to flow in a moment, really using the flow to help warm up the body. So can you allow this pose to be a little softer? What can you do here to let go of something, maybe relax something? And that might be something physical. Maybe there's something that you're holding on to from your day or your week, something that you can let go of. You don't need it for practice. Release your arms, press into your feet, begin to roll yourself all the way up to standing. And at the top, roll your shoulders back and down. Gather your hands into prayer and allow your eyes to close. Perhaps setting an intention for your practice. And if you can't think of anything, just try to stay with the rhythm of your breath. Staying present in this moment. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Release your arms and allow your eyes to flutter open. Surya A. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Big stretch, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. For the first round, step back, plank pose. Hold and breathe in your plank. Strong hands, strong arms. Inhale, shift the weight forwards. Bend your elbows, lower halfway, chaturanga. Lower all the way to your belly. Thumbs in line with your low ribs. Inhale, peel the chest up, low cobra. Exhale, release back down. Downward facing dog. Either push up, high plank, straight to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Leading with your non-dominant foot, walk your feet forwards. Inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Rise to stand, reach up, big stretch. Hands to prayer. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, maybe upward facing dog if you're ready. Back to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up. Hands to prayer. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. This time, step your feet together. Step them in once or twice. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forwards. Take a little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up. Hands to prayer. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Step your feet together, walk them in a little bit. Keep your arms straight and strong. Bend the knees, look forwards. Little jump to the top of the mat. Maybe some air time. Feet forwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up. Hands to prayer. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog, 3 deep breaths. Step the feet together, bend your knees. Inhale, look forwards. Little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up. Hands to prayer. Release your arms, chair pose. Bend the knees, sit low, reach your arms up. Sit your hips back and down. Feel your heels squeeze towards the back of the room. Now lift your chest more, but pull your front ribs in. Maybe the palms come together, maybe you lift the gaze up. Take another full breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Spin the left toes out, step the right foot up. Inhale, warrior one, reach up, maybe look up. Hands to the floor, same breath out, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Spin the right toes out, step the left foot up. Warrior one, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands down, straight through your vinyasa. 3 breaths here. Bend your knees, inhale, look forwards. Little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit low. Reach your arms up. Maybe the palms touch, maybe you lift the gaze. Rise to stand, Tadasana. 4 rounds on the breath. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Spin the left toes out, step the right foot up. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, vinyasa. Right toes out, step the left foot up. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, same breath out, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Step the feet together, bend your knees, inhale, look forwards, little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen, exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit low, reach your arms up. Rise to stand, Tadasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Right foot forwards. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, same breath out, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Step the left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, vinyasa. 3 breaths here. Bend your knees, inhale, look forwards, little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen, exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit low, reach the arms. Rise to stand, Tadasana. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot forwards. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, vinyasa. Inhale, back bend. Down dog. Left foot forwards. Inhale, reach up. Hands down, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Use this as a resting pose. Catch your breath. Feet together, bend your knees, inhale, look forwards, take a little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit low, reach the arms. Rise to stand, Tadasana. Last round, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Right foot forwards. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Hands down, step back, vinyasa. Left foot forwards, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, same breath out, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here this time. Bend your knees, inhale, look forwards, little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit low. Rise to stand, Tadasana. Take an inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Chair pose. Maybe open and close your mouth a few times. Unclench the jaw. Now sit your hips back and down. Feel your heels squeeze towards the back of the mat. Bring your chest towards your thighs, but keep it lifted away from your thighs. So you're pulling the lower belly up and in. Continue to reach through your hands. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Hands down, Bakasana. Squeeze your knees to your upper arms. Hold in the arm balance for 5, 4, straighten the arms, 3, 2, 1, vinyasa. Inhale, lift your right leg. Either warrior one with the right foot forwards or jump the left foot in a few times. Take a couple of little handstand hops. We're gonna meet warrior one with the right foot forwards. Reach the arms up. Maybe finding prayer up overhead, maybe lifting the gaze. Strong legs, strong feet. Last full breath in. Warrior two, open out. Nice long stance in your warrior two. Whew, it's very hot. Maybe closing your eyes, 5 breaths. Straighten through your front leg, triangle pose, reach forwards. Right hand to your shin, maybe to a block or the floor, reach the left arm up. Pull your right hip back. Spin your chest towards the left. Lift up through the inner arch of your back foot. Warrior two, rebend the front knee. Extended side angle, right hand to the inside of your right foot. Reach the left arm up and then forwards. So you're wrapping that left pinky finger down and then reaching from your left fingers and pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Feel your right knee hug towards your right upper arm. Press your upper arm back into your leg. Warrior two. Look at your right foot, heel toe it out to the right a little, and then spin these back toes in more. So it's a little bit more of a warrior one stance. Interlace your hands back behind you. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, humble warrior. Right shoulder to the inside of your right leg. Hug your outer right hip in. Feel your right heel pull towards your left foot. So here are your options. Stay here, it's perfectly great. There's another 5 breaths. Or bring your forearms down to the floor. Take Shirshasana 1. So obviously it's a slightly different entry. Do your best. Be safe, make sure you're breathing. Very little pressure going through your head. If you're in Shirshasana 1, you have to back out into humble warrior. So your right foot comes down alongside your right elbow, left foot back. Humble warrior is where we meet. Bring your left hand to the floor, spin onto the ball of the back foot, reach your right arm up, easy twist. Pull your right hip back. Lift through your left thigh. Take a full breath in. Exhale, right hand down, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Downward facing dog. Look forwards, bend both of your elbows and lower your forearms down at the same time, dolphin pose. Walk your feet in. Pull front ribs towards back ribs. Get your head off the floor by pressing the floor away from you. Stay here or lift the right leg. Stay here or maybe tip forwards, come up, Pincha Mayurasana. Squeeze your inner ankles, squeeze your inner thighs. If you're upside down, lowering all the way back down. Look again at your hands and then lift the forearms up, downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Lift your left leg. Warrior 1 with the left foot forwards, or hop your right foot in a little and take some little handstand hops. Keep your arms straight and strong. It's left foot forwards, warrior 1. Maybe bringing the palms together. Maybe lifting your gaze. Last full breath in. Exhale, warrior 2. So you're changing up the feet, getting a nice long warrior 2 here. Maybe closing your eyes, 5 breaths. Straighten through your front leg, Trikonasana. Reach forwards with the left hand, bringing it down onto your shin, maybe the floor. Pull the left hip back. Lengthen your tailbone towards your right heel. Be somewhere where you can breathe. Continuing to stay focused on the present moment, not thinking about what's coming up next. Lifting all the way back up, rebend your front knee, side angle pose, left hand to the inside of your left foot, reach your right arm up and then forwards. Wrap that right pinky finger down. Reach from your right fingers to the outer edge of your right foot. Press your upper left arm into your leg and the leg back into your arm. strong legs, warrior two. Now heel toe your left foot out to the left a little, spin your right toes in, more like a warrior one stance. Interlace the hands back behind you, switch up your grip. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, humble warrior, dive forwards. So your left shoulder comes to the inside of your left leg. Now hug your outer left hip back in. Keep your legs really active, feel them hugging in towards one another. Either staying here or bringing your forearms down, they're slightly on an angle. Set up for Shirshasana 1, lifting up. So sometimes when we enter a pose in a different way, it can really change our experience in the shape. So maybe you're really good at headstand, but that entry is something that's challenging and new to you. So notice your reaction to it. The left foot's gonna come back down to the top of the mat. We're coming back into humble warrior. So left foot comes down, right leg all the way to the back, humble warrior. Right hand comes down to the floor, spin onto the ball of the back foot, reach your left arm up. Hug your outer left hip in. Spin your chest open towards the left. Last full breath in. Exhale, left hand down, vinyasa. Look forwards, bend both of your elbows, spin your inner elbow creases forwards and then lower the forearms down, turbo dog. Pull the front ribs in and then walk your feet in, dolphin pose. Press the floor away from you. Find a little bit of rounding in your upper back. Stay here or reach the left leg up. Stay here or maybe come into Pincha Mayurasana, finding your inversion. Lowering the feet all the way back down. Look forwards once again and lift both of your elbows, your forearms away from the floor. Downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Bend your knees, inhale, look forwards. Take a little jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up. Hands to prayer. Right hand comes down onto your right hip. Bend and lift your left leg. Take your peace fingers around the left big toe. Now, if you're working with a strap, you could grab the strap and then kick your left leg forwards. Pull the left hip back. Focus on standing up nice and tall, and then find something to settle your gaze on, a drishti point. Plug your left shoulder blade back. Take your left leg out to the left. Try not to lift that left hip point too much. If you like, you can reach your right arm out to the right. Maybe even spin your gaze to your right fingers. So you're changing the drishti. Hug your outer right hip in. Keep lifting through the inner arch of your right foot and extending through the crown of your head. Bring the left leg back through center. Take your right hand to the outside of your left foot or maybe your knee and then extend the left arm back. Make sure that the left leg is not crossing the midline of your body, right? So press it out into your hand a little bit. And again, maybe you allow the drishti to change. Perhaps looking towards your back hand. Slowly bring your gaze back to center. Bring your hands into prayer, warrior three. Like a pendulum, swing the left leg back. Find this capital T-like shape. So don't drop your chest too much. It's not standing splits. We're in warrior three. If you want, reach the arms back or maybe forwards. Keep pulling up through your lower belly. Going slow here, start to spin your chest open to the left. Ardha Chandrasana. So the hips begin to open, the chest opens. Maybe adding in Shavasana, bending your left knee, hand can come to the foot. Extend through the crown of your head more so you're not falling down. If you're in Shavasana, back to half moon, both hands down, standing splits. Maybe bend and straighten that right leg a couple of times. Standing splits. Folding your chest over your right leg. If you like, you can take your hand, your right hand behind your right ankle and fold a little deeper. Staying on the right leg, bring your hands back out in front. We're taking Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana, so revolved half moon. I'm going to grab a block here. I find it works best for me. Left hand stays down, reach the right arm up. Spin your chest to the right. Hug your outer right hip in. Press back through your left heel. Standing splits once again, both hands down. So here are your options. You could hop that right foot back a couple of inches and then take some handstand hops from here. You could stay in standing splits, or if you have it in your practice, stay in standing splits, but then press to handstand. So round the upper back, come up high onto the ball of the right foot, lift up. Find Ardha Mukha Vrikshasana handstand. Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, reach up, big stretch. Hands to prayer. Left hand onto your hip. Extend your right leg forwards, maybe grabbing the peace fingers around the right big toe. You've got a strap, you can also bend the knee. Find your balance. Settle your gaze, find a drishti. Plug your right thigh bone, the femur, back into the socket. I literally have sweat running down my face. So talk about distractions, right? Take the right leg out to the right. Keep the hip pulling down. Hug your outer left hip in, and then maybe extend the left arm out. Maybe spinning your gaze to your left hand. I've chosen the hottest day in LA to do this. Bring your leg back through center. Finding the twist, left hand to the outside of your right foot or leg, reach your right arm back. So don't let your extended leg pull across your body. Press the right leg out to the right more. Maybe you're taking your gaze back to your right thumb. Come back through center, hands to prayer, warrior three, like a pendulum, swing your right leg back, Virabhadrasana 3. Making sure your Doing all those little micro adjustments, particularly if you're hypermobile. Find your line as you press through your right heel and extend through the crown of your head. Maybe reaching the arms back, maybe forwards, pull up through the lower belly. Warrior three, half moon. Start to spin your chest to the right, might be a little wobbly. Press back through the right heel, continue to extend through the crown of the head, Ardha Chandrasana. Stay or find Chapasana, bending your right knee. Half moon. Standing splits, both hands down, fold over your standing leg. And then bend and straighten that left leg a few times. So I'm getting a little bit of a cramp into my left foot, left leg. It's really warm. I'm sweating loads. Standing splits, folding your chest over the left leg, maybe wrapping the left hand behind. Hollow out the belly. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to use a block here underneath my right hand. Right leg stays lifted. Spin your chest to the left. So if you've ever practiced with me in real life, or if you've been in class with me, you know how much I hate this pose. I find it really, really challenging. I guess that's why I need to keep practicing. Standing splits, both hands down. So again, you could hop that left foot back a little bit and take some little handstand kick-ups with the right leg, or hold in standing splits. If you have press handstand, hands to the floor, come up onto the ball of the left foot, lead with your right leg, it lifts up towards the ceiling. Handstand, Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Ribs stay pulling in. Pressing the floor away and reaching through the feet. Uttanasana, feet down. We'll take a ragdoll position here. Hold opposite elbows. Maybe towel off. Maybe flutter out the lips. Letting go of the drama. Remembering that you don't have to take every variation. So if you're really hating this practice, maybe it's not the yoga, maybe it's your attitude towards what we're doing. So if something is not feeling good, or if something is feeling challenging today, give yourself a break. Release your arms, press into your feet, begin to roll yourself all the way up to standing. Roll the shoulders back and down. All right, we're gonna take a wide-legged stance here. So if I was to extend my arms out, my ankles are pretty much underneath my wrists. Hands come to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. So we're going to go through a few different things here. If you don't like coming upside down, you can bind the big toes, you can hold the outer edges of the feet, you could bind your hands back behind you. So lots of different options here. If you're coming with me, bringing the crown of the head down, making sure you can see all 5 of your fingernails, elbows pulling in, firm up through the shoulder blades. We're coming into tripod. You can either straddle up, which is what I'm going to do, or you could bring your knees onto your upper arms. Headstand 2, Shirshasana 2. Really grip down with your fingers. Either stay here or bring your knees to your upper arms. We're going Bakasana. So you're going to lift your head up. Keep squeezing the knees in. Find your crow pose. Head back to the floor. Tripod headstand, lift the legs up. And then either lower down through pike, or you can spread the legs again, straddle, fold forwards. And then just take a relaxing forward fold here. So maybe you bring hands onto blocks, maybe you bend one knee then the other, let go of any tension. Make sure your neck's okay, no funny business going on there. So we're gonna do one more tripod headstand. There's lots of different variations you can work with. You might want to walk the hands through your legs and take that variation. Obviously, be smart. This is your practice, be responsible. If something isn't feeling right, please do not do it. Otherwise, you're coming straight back up to tripod, and I'm gonna lead you through a little variation. So when you're ready, head down, come on up, tripod. We're gonna move into side crow. So bend both knees. Take your knees to the right. Hook your left knee over your right arm. And then lift your head up. Parsvarabhakasana, maybe extending the legs out. Squeeze your heels to your butt. Head comes back down, lift up, tripod headstand. To the other side, bending both knees. Take them to the left. So it's your right outer leg to your left upper arm. Lift up, maybe extend the legs. Rebend, lift the hips up. And coming all the way back down, straddle. And find again, a little bit of a rest in your wide-legged forward fold. We have one more inversion here. Maybe it's headstand one. And that would be my preference, really. You've already spent quite a bit of time in tripod, and you don't need to overdo that. So either take headstand one. You could also take Pincha Mayurasana from here, forearms down, and straddle the legs up. Maybe it's handstand. So if you're in your handstand, or actually even if you're not, you can still practice tipping the weight forwards into the balls of the feet, lifting the heels up, and then bringing the feet down. And you can practice that a few times. Getting your shoulders beyond your wrists, feeling the belly pull up. So that might be your work, and that's great. If you're coming up, pressing into the floor, finding your straddle handstand. Maybe bringing the legs all the way together. Maybe falling out. We'll meet in our wide-legged forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Walk your feet out a little wider. Walk them out as wide as you can, keeping the outer edges of your feet down. Maybe forearms come back down. Lift through the inner arches of your feet. Feel your feet pull in. Now you're going to come all the way down to a seat. You could always thread your right arm back through, bend the elbow, and that's going to help you come all the way down. Just going to adjust myself here on my mat. So we're in this straddle position. Right hand or forearm to the inside of your right leg. Reach the left arm up and stretch to the right. I like to bend my right elbow, cup my head into my hand. Try to keep your left sitting bone grounding down. Lifting all the way back up. Left forearm comes down. Reach your right arm up. Find your side bend. So enjoy these moments of stretching. You know, obviously we've done a lot of strength-based stuff today, and that's what this practice is about. You know, when we work this kind of rocket, Ashtanga type flow. But really nice to balance it out with these moments of stretching. And lifting all the way back up. Hanumanasana, right leg forwards. So I'm going to use my hands down to help lift my hips up, and then I pull the right hip back, left hip forwards. Maybe you're in half splits, maybe you've got props underneath you. If you like, reach your arms up, full Hanumanasana. So even if you're very flexible and very open and you're in full splits, try to resist your pelvis away from the floor. So again, there's this sense of lifting up. And release down. We're going to go straight to the left side. So go slow here. I don't want any issues in the hips. You're going to spin towards the back of the mat. Squaring off the hips as best you can. Maybe keeping those back toes tucked. That's going to keep you really honest with where you're at. Maybe you're reaching the arms up. Press your left heel down. Try to squeeze your left foot back towards your hips. Good, and hands come back down. We're going to carefully come back through center. And then sweep your left leg forwards. So we're still in a slight straddle position here, right? But just not as wide as we previously were. You're going to take both of your hands, one on either side of your right leg. Try to sit up tall. Now just lifting the right leg, start to pulse it away from the floor. For 10. 9, 8, 7, pull up through the belly, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that back down. Take your fists and just massage out your right quad a little bit. Other side, hands either side of the left leg. Start to pulse it up. Pull up through the lower belly. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg down, and again, use your fists to massage out your leg. Now you may want blocks here, right? So if you're using blocks, they're going to come either side of your right thigh. We're going to take some little L sit, like straddle L sits here. So hands to your blocks. Now I want you to think of pulling the hips back, the navel pulling back. So hands come down, take an inhale. Exhale, press down through the hands, lift your hips up. Pull the hips back. Breathe, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Good, to the left side, blocks down. So remember, navel back. It's almost like that cat-like position. Arms straight and strong. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up. Pull the hips back. Breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Shake the legs out. So in a moment, you're either going to repeat that or we're going to add on an arm balance. So we'll add on Ashtavakrasana, Kundinyasana, back through a vinyasa, and then we'll meet back in this position. So again, the blocks might continue to be helpful for you. Use them. They're a great tool. Hands either side of your right leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull up. Right ankle over left. Shoot the legs out to the left, Ashtavakrasana. Lift up, thread your right leg through, Kundinyasana. Step back, Vinyasa. Jump through. Set up second side. So hands around your left leg this time. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the hips back. Left ankle over right thigh, Ashtavakrasana. Lift the hips, extend the left leg back, Kundinyasana. Maybe jump back Vinyasa. And downward facing dog. You end up a little bit diagonal on the mat. Jump through. Dandasana. So legs are extended. Hands by your side, sit up nice and tall. Maybe close your eyes and breathe here. If you have tight hamstrings, if you feel like you're rolling back on your hips, either bend your knees or place something underneath your hips. Try to lengthen through your lower back. Head stacks on shoulders, shoulders on hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Paschimottanasana, fold forwards. Hands can come either side of the feet, or maybe you hold onto the outer edges of your feet. Try to keep that length through the lower back. Press your heels firmly into the floor. Feel your heels pulling back towards your hips. Lifting all the way back up. Now I'm going to use bricks here because I don't yet have a jump back, like a clean jump back. So you don't have to do these jump backs, and in fact you could just do the first part of it, which I'll let you know what that is in a moment. But if you're like feeling cooked, then don't worry about the jump backs. So you're going to take the blocks either side of your thighs if you're using them. You're going to bend your knees, cross your right ankle over your left, and then either just lift the hips up, press the floor away from you, or if you want, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale through your back bend, downward facing dog. Now I just need to adjust myself a little bit on the mat here. And then we're going to jump through. So bend your knees, inhale, look forwards, jump your legs through, sitting all the way down. This time, take your hands back behind you, fingers either spinning out to the outer edges of your mat or face towards your buttocks. Reverse tabletop, lift the hips up. Try not to just throw your head back, but lift your hips higher, squeeze your butt more, and then maybe start to stretch through your neck. Lower all the way back down. Circle out through your wrists a couple of times. So it's a really beautiful pose to help undo some of this pushing work that we've been doing. Bring your hands back behind you, second round. Now, if you want to add on, you'll keep your legs straight, but have the whole of the foot down on the floor. When you're ready, lift the hips up. And lower the hips all the way down. Again, circle out through your wrists a couple of times. So again, we're going to do that jump back, or if you prefer, you're going to stay with the first bit. So this time I'm going to go left ankle over right, pull everything in, hands to the blocks, start to lift up, stay here, or jump back. Inhale, back bend, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, inhale, look forwards, jump through, all the way down. Two options here. You're gonna keep the left leg extended. Either bring the sole of the right foot to your inner left thigh for Janushirshasana, folding forwards, or if you have half lotus, you can bring your right foot all the way up, wrapping the right arm behind you and finding a hold of the foot. You'll reach the left arm up and fold. Adho Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Please make sure there's no pain in your right knee or ankle. Lifting all the way up, changing sides, right leg extending. So either Janushirshasana, left foot to your inner right thigh, or finding half lotus, wrapping the left arm behind, reach the right arm up, and fold. Lifting all the way back up, extending the left leg out. We're gonna meet back in downward facing dog. So if you don't wanna jump through, just make your way back to dog. Otherwise, maybe grab a hold of your bricks again if you're using them. Right ankle over left thigh. Scoot yourself in, make yourself small. Now press the floor away and maybe jump back. I'm gonna get rid of the blocks for now. So we're gonna take handstand and then come into a kneeling position. So if you have handstand, coming straight into it. If you're playing around, take a couple of hops. This isn't the end of class though, so conserve some energy. Lots of different variations, maybe stepping one foot in and taking little split leg jumps up. If you prefer, you can jump both of your feet forwards, finding your handstand. So once you're in your handstand, find a tuck, drawing your knees into your chest. Go super slow here, keep pressing the floor away. Knees pull into the chest. You're gonna bring the tops of your feet down to the floor and lower onto your shins. Now take your right thumb into your right calf muscle and spin that muscle out to the right, and then wriggle your right hip to the inside of your right ankle. So you're not sitting on that foot. Then take the left leg forwards. Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. So essentially this right leg is in Virasana or hero pose. Left leg is extending forwards. Reach your arms up and fold. Now you may notice that you're overly rolling onto your left hip. So try to roll the right hip down a little bit more. It doesn't mean that it's going to be fully on the floor. That's not necessarily the point. But you're just trying to even out the work. Lifting the torso all the way up. This becomes one-legged crow, Ekapada Bakasana. So my hands are gonna come down. Now I'm gonna lift this left leg up. My right knee comes to my right elbow or upper arm. Oh. Finding your variation. Maybe I can't find it today. Your variation of crow. Maybe you jump back, vinyasa. So again, we have handstand into that little kneeling position. So if you went split leg, make sure the other leg's going up. Maybe you're jumping up again. Find your handstand. Draw your knees to your chest, tuck them in. Go slow here, keep pressing the floor away. Pull the navel up. You're gonna land on the tops of your feet and your shins. And then take your left thumb to your left calf muscle, spin it out to the left, and nuzzle your left hip to the inside of your left heel. From here, take your right leg out. Reach your arms up. And fold. Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. So as you begin to fatigue, which is normal, this has been a strong practice, it's normally when you know, we can start to get a little sloppy, or maybe we're not concentrating as well as we could be. So you saw when I came out of this pose last time into that one-legged crow, I had to readjust a few times, right? So take that time. If something's not feeling right, you don't have to magically appear in each pose. Be safe. Know your limits. Lifting the chest all the way back up. So it's one-legged crow pose again. Hands come down to the floor. Now I'm going to scoop this right leg back and then bring my left knee to my left arm. Last handstand here. So we're going to handstand and then bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide for a Baddha Konasana variation. So choose your entry into handstand. This time I'm going to press up, legs together. There's a little fallout for me. Feet together, knees wide. Coming all the way down to Baddha Konasana. Wrapping your hands around the toes. Inhale, lengthen the chest. And fold. Imagine someone's got you by the hips and they're pulling your hips back and down, keeping your sitting bones grounding down. And then lift your torso up, draw your knees all the way together, and then shift forwards onto your mat. Reach the arms forwards and lower all the way down. Take your feet as wide as the mat, knees knock in towards one another. Taking 3 breaths here. Setting up bridge pose. Heel toe your feet to hips with distance. Arms down alongside you. Lift your hips up. Interlace your hands underneath you. Make space between your chin and your chest. Squeeze your heels back towards your shoulders and press your knees forwards. And lower all the way back down. Take a breath here. Second round, either stay with bridge pose, or if you have Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel, then that's where we're going to go. So you bring your hands alongside your ears, elbows are bent. Press up, coming onto the crown of your head first. Now readjust your hands, your shoulders as you need, and then lift the head away from the floor. Maybe walking your hands in a little closer towards your feet. Wheel pose. Feel your inner thighs pulling in. Squeeze your butt. Slowly lowering all the way back down. Taking a breath here. Check in with the lower back. So we're going to go back up into our back bend, bridge or wheel. I also have a variation for when you're in wheel. Come on up. If you're in wheel and you want to add on, look to your hands and then bring one forearm down, then the other forearm. Now you can interlace your fingers here. You could make a prayer position. Keep pressing the floor away from you. Either stay with the legs bent or you could straighten them out in front of you. I feel like this gives me a really nice stretch through the front of the hips. Walking the feet back in if you've straightened the legs. Carefully and slowly coming up onto one hand, then the other, and lowering all the way back down. So we're going to come up onto our shins for some kneeling back bends. You could either roll to one side and come up, or rock and roll up and down the length of your spine and come up. If you prefer, come into wheel pose. From your wheel pose, you're going to bend one knee and bring the shin down. Bend the other knee, bring the shin down. One hand to your lower back, then the other, and lift all the way up. We'll meet in this kneeling position. So hands to your lower back, fingers facing up, hug your elbows in. Start to lift the chest, press the hips forwards. So be mindful not to just throw your head back. Feel your inner thighs pulling in. And then inhale, come all the way up. Hands to the floor, tabletop position. And just breathe here in tabletop. Second round, setting up. Option to add on in this round. So coming into Camel Ustrasana. Releasing both of your hands, holding onto your heels, press your hips forwards. Without twisting, lifting all the way back up and coming to a tabletop position again. It's really important not to twist out of that back bend. And if you feel like you can't get out without twisting, then that's a good indication that you've gone a little too far. Third round here, Camel Ustrasana, maybe leading into Kapotasana, your full king pigeon, right? So choose your level, start to lift the chest. Maybe the hands are catching the heels. Maybe you're taking this further. Carefully lifting all the way back up. Tabletop position. Catch your breath. Forearm plank. Pull your navel back to your spine. Squeeze your butt. Stay here, or one final Pincha Mayurasana, walking the feet in, maybe pressing up to Pincha. Coming all the way back down. Sphinx pose, lowering your hips down. Pull your chest through your shoulders. Take the feet as wide as you need here. Maybe relax your hips. You can sway them out side to side. And take any little neck rolls that you need to let go of some tension. Come to lie on your back. Hug your right knee into your chest. Extend the left leg long. Take your right leg over to the left. Right arm out to the right. Supine twist. And don't worry about going further physically with this shape. We're starting to wind the practice down. So in fact, just really let this be soft. Maybe even use props, even if you don't normally use them here. So we want to balance out the yang of that practice with a little bit of softness, a little bit of surrender. Can you use each exhale to relax something? Coming back through center, extending your right leg long, hugging your left knee into your chest. Give it a nice big squeeze. And then taking it into the twist. I'm using a prop here to prop up my left leg. And then once again, let go of the drama. Let go of any labels that you've put on yourself, your practice. Forget about what poses you did and didn't do or how long you held them for. Because if we take this practice and then turn it into a competition, we're not really left with much of the yoga. And it can be hard when we're doing a physically demanding practice to let some of that go. Particularly if you're someone that's really drawn to that yang style practice, someone like myself, I really enjoy to sweat and move dynamically. You're not defined as a person by what happened on your mat. Thank goodness, right? Coming all the way back through center. Either take a happy baby or a final hug of your knees into your chest. Take any final wriggles or movements that you need to there. And then make your way into Shavasana. Try to stay for about 3 to 5 minutes in your Shavasana. That was a strong, long practice. So really reap the benefits of the practice now. Relax deeply. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time. Namaste.